course, it's the Carabao Cup final this weekend as well. Manchester City against Spurs, and a lot of people would be hoping they both lose after the Super League shame during the course of the week. Merce, all the statements, it's gone away for the moment, all the statements from Real Madrid and Juventus suggest, though, that Europe's elite, and I use that word in inverted commas, will try again.
Well, they will try. Well, they will, of course they will. 100% they will, because they haven't got the product, have they? We have the product. We have the best league in the world. Everybody wants to watch our league. It goes all round the world. We kick off at our times, really. We kick off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Our biggest game of the day is at 4:30 on a Sunday afternoon. You know, it was, how long ago was it? 2 years ago? Barcelona are kicking off against Real Madrid at 12:15 their time, 11:15 English time, to get it to Asia. They need English clubs. They'll keep on going and going and going and going till they stop, till they get what they want. And that, what they've done, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, they've took advantage of clever businessmen who are clueless about football, who've got no clue about football, and they've tried to take advantage, not knowing the fans. I couldn't even watch Monday night's game. I couldn't watch it. I didn't see anything, because if Liverpool would have gone on and won it, and this was so-called keep on going, they wouldn't have been in the Champions League next year. We're brought up, Jeff, you know, today, like the relegation, who's going up, who's going down, it's the dream. You know, Norwich know when they go up, they're not going to win the Premier League, but the dream's there. You know, the dream's there for them to get another player, and one day they might win the FA Cup, like Portsmouth did. When we got promoted to the Premier League with Portsmouth, look what happened. Look at the quality players they got. Teddy Sheringham, Defoe, Crouch, Sol Campbell. They went and won the FA Cup. Who would have thought that? You know, and it's because of the dream. It's the dream, and that dream would have been taken away. Rochdale every year will get that dream. Who knows? One day someone will come in there and go, I live in Rochdale, I'm a wealthy man, I want to take this club to the heights. And who knows? Well, and that dream would have been taken away. It would have been finished.
You look at Leicester City.
Exactly.
You look at West Ham.
Exactly.
Who weren't included. I don't want to spend too much time on this today, because it's been, you know, thoroughly gone over during the course of the week. And as we go to the individual clubs, we will be dipping back into it. But Lee, I mean, for instance, Perez says this Super League is on standby. Those are his words. Are you surprised that at the moment there have been no sanctions from UEFA against the Six? I'm not going to call them the Super Six, by the way, or the Big Six. They are the Six.
To be fair, it is on standby, isn't it? And that's the thing. It's like Mercer, they're not going to give up on this. How do they go about it? How do they put the sanctions on it? There's got to be something put in place, because it's causing absolute mayhem. I mean, we've seen at the games, we've seen the fans protesting, who've been magnificent in all of this, let's face it, the players, the managers. You know, I'm just touching back on what Merce said. I look at Aston Villa as obviously being my club, and would Doug Ellis have been involved in that, Merce? You know yourself. No. I think these guys, we all want these big money men to come into football clubs, don't we? Because we see the likes of bigger players, and like Merce says, you know, the transition of trying to get to the top. But you know what? It's all about money for these guys, isn't it? It's a business. It's not about the pleasure and the fact of knowing what the club's all about and the history. And it's disappointing, but where do we go? Because this certainly isn't going to stop, Jeff. There's not a chance in the world this will continue until they try and resolve where they want to go with it.
So if they're not punished in any way, shape or form, Clinton, won't that just encourage them to try again? I know there's an argument that points deductions would punish the fans, but every punishment for a football club that goes into administration gets points deducted.
Yeah, they do.
A football club that feels an ineligible player gets point deducted. Not the fans' fault, but inevitably you punish the clubs. You will punish the fans, but can they get away scot-free?
They can't get away scot-free. There's a lot of talk, obviously, about chairmen losing their jobs, chief executive losing their jobs, and this ain't going to stop. I agree with what Merson and Lee said. This ain't going to stop. This is going to continue. It's not like they thought last week, we're going to all meet together and we come up with a plan, we draw pages out and we've decided this. What did they expect, though, Jeff? Did they expect them to come in and everyone was going to say, you know what, all right, yeah, go and have that league and we'll just get on with it here in the Premier League and play with the 14 teams, and then we'll allow you to come back to the Premier League and play. No way. Let me tell you something, Jeff. You know the teams like Arsenal and Tottenham, they want to play teams like Barcelona. Earn the right to play that then. Qualify for the Champions League and earn the right to play these sort of teams. It's not right. It's just pure greed, And you know what? The one thing I will say, though, Jeff, I need to make this point. What I will say, it just goes to show me in 72 hours, the football fans and the community, everything, they all come together, and the fans have been brilliant, the players have been brilliant, and they highlighted it. UEFA and things getting involved. But you know that energy they showed in that, Jeff, to stop the Super League? Show that energy when it comes to online abuse and also racism. That's the energy, because if you can stop that in 72 hours, you can stop the racism and online abuse. It's as simple as that. And that's what I'm saying. It's brilliant what the players are doing and stuff. All the government, everyone got together. But there's bigger things out there as well, including the Super League and bigger than the Super League. And it's just money. When it comes to money, everyone's heads wants to turn and look at different things. But when it comes to racism, everyone's like, nah, I'm going to be hiding.
Yeah, well done, Clinton. Well said.
Well said. Well said.
Look, Ali, I want to bring you in on this as well, but I'm just going to move away from the Super League for a moment, because under cover of darkness, under cover of the Super League, UEFA snuck through an absolutely appalling new Champions League format, where there'll be more meaningless games and more mismatches. So UEFA, in some respects, they've come out of this glowing, but they've also used it for their own benefit, haven't they?
Yes, Jeff, but should we be surprised? No. The pressure's been taken off UEFA and FIFA a little bit, because both those organisations, frankly, have been a shambles in recent years, and I think we're probably all in agreement of that. The Champions League format, you could question, you could go right through it and just pick pieces in it all over the place. I mean, for example, you get a team like Ajax who get knocked out in the semi-finals a couple of years back against Spurs, and then the following year they've got to go and play 2 or 3 qualifiers. I mean, what is that all about? Where, let's be honest about it, there's 3 or 4 teams from bigger countries going straight into the tournament. So there's a lot of things with the Champions League, but Jeff, UEFA do not surprise me. Once you start messing about with the integrity of any competition, you're barking up the wrong tree, and you've got to ask questions. You really have. It's the whole Super League thing was embarrassing, actually, at the arrogance, the level of arrogance shown by these people. But at the same time, you're 100% right to bring that in. And get back to what Clinton was saying, I think the fans have been absolutely phenomenal in what they've done. But now, at this moment in time, the fans, in terms of their stock and what they can achieve, is as high as it's probably ever been in the... Well, when I'm not ever, but maybe the last 10, 15 years since money became the most important thing in football. And the fans should continue in their efforts for change and whatever they see as right.
Yeah, and I take that on board, Ali, but, I mean, Sue Smith, how do the fans force out, for instance, someone like Stan Kroenke, who's effectively an absentee landlord? He's never at the games. He is not affected at all by any fan protests, is he? Why would he be forced out?
And I think that's the difficulty, isn't it? That, yes, fans are protesting, fans are showing how, you know, they absolutely hated the idea, as we all did. But how can you get rid of these owners? I suppose all they can do is keep trying to do these things. But this is where change has to happen. And I know there's been lots of ideas, but fans need to have a voice, and they need to have a voice when big decisions are made. So you've got the owners going off on their own, making these big decisions that everybody else doesn't agree with. The fans don't agree with it. The managers don't agree with it. The players don't agree with it. So they need to have a voice, and they need to put that voice forward before they go off and do their own thing, because this isn't going to go away, unfortunately. They're going to continue. The businessmen want to make money, and they want to make money however they can. So they'll continue to try and do that. So something needs to change where they have a voice, that this thing doesn't happen again, because it's been an absolute shambles.
By the way, just in case you've missed under the cover of all the headlines, the new Champions League format from UEFA, 36 teams. Each of those sides will play 10 of the others, different teams, home and away. Then in a league table, then 9th to 25th will be involved in 2-legged playoffs. 25th to 36th will go out. The winners of those 2-legged players, 9th to 25th, will play 1st to 8th in 2-legged games, so last 16 onwards. The gist of it means, to win the Champions League, you might play 19 games. The chances are you will, well, you definitely will, play 17 games. And that's why the likes of Pep Guardiola are up in arms about it.